Good evening and welcome to the NNX Chicago Show, where we give you the news faster than you can catch the L. I'm Victoria Ryan.
And I'm Angela Jung. Let's dive into tonight's stories. Chicago is preparing to host the 2024 Democratic National Convention this summer. While the Democratic presidential nominee is usually confirmed at the convention, the DNC made an unusual move today, announcing that it will nominate President Biden virtually. The move comes before the Ohio State Senate was scheduled to meet earlier today to discuss moving the certification deadline to after the DNC, a decision that Ohio Republicans tied to Democratic concessions on campaign finance issues. And looking towards the summer, Medill professor Peter Slevin predicts more controversy, with the pro-Palestine protests potentially interfering with the convention.
The mayor's going to have a tough call in figuring out how to police those demonstrations. Already these matters are in court, and Chicago's reputation will depend in part on how it all goes.
The DNC will be held at the United Center from August 19th through the 22nd. The CTA announced that it will be providing as many as 250 buses to help provide secure transportation for the convention, taking away 13% of those vehicles and their staffers from Chicagoans' daily use.
Farmers markets throughout the city of Chicago are working to combat food deserts. Green City Market in Lincoln Park saw an issue with food access at farmers markets in Chicago and found a model that works for their neighborhood specifically. One initiative beginning in 2008 is a Link and Snap matching program that doubles the amount of fruits and vegetables SNAP users can purchase.
We'd much rather work to share our resources with the markets that already exist there. And I think that's sort of a good model of thinking about food access, how can we plug in and surface the work that's already happening instead of swooping in to a community that we're not a part of.
Looking to the future, GCM hopes to continue focusing on their community, promoting equitable food access for all their neighbors. We have Lena in studio with us today. Thanks for joining us. Can you talk a little bit about this SnapLink initiative that Green City Market has implemented?
Of course. So Green City Market runs a link matching program that triples the value of what shoppers can spend on their link card up to $25. So that means if they swipe $25 off of their link card, they can spend up to $75 in vouchers at the market with vendors and farms. This has had a huge impact on making fresh produce more accessible, as farmers markets are historically less accessible than grocery stores or convenience stores.
Yeah, and how does this help farmers and other vendors at the market?
So this program actually benefits farmers a lot. It helps to bring more customers into the market and allows them to spend more than they would otherwise. This year, Green City Market is actually on track to reimburse farmers and vendors up to $300,000 to supplement the SnapLink vouchers, which really shows just how much SnapLink shoppers are able to spend that they would not be able to otherwise if it weren't for this program.
Thank you for sharing those program details, Lena.
Chicago's Little Village is home to a vibrant Mexican-American community, but it's facing some economic challenges. Poverty rates there are 7 points higher than the Chicago average, with 24% of Little Village residents living in poverty. But the community is also home to many Spanish-speaking businesses that contribute to the culture.
It's I don't know why, but something about it reminds me of home. I think the most important stuff is just kind of surrounding yourself with other people that kind of look and speak like me.
The state representative's office in the area has been giving out basic necessities to people in need at community events.
5 new Barnes & Nobles are scheduled to open in the Chicago area later this year and could pose a threat to independent bookstores nearby. Volume's Book Café first opened in 2016 and has been in Wicker Park since 2021. Its owners, Kimberly and Rebecca George, are worried that the opening of Barnes & Noble will negatively impact their business.
We went through a lot of emotions, and I think we're still processing and going through, and they haven't even opened yet. So, but fortunately for us, I'm hoping our customers are loyal.
One customer even emailed Barnes & Noble CEO James Daunt. Daunt says the chain bookstore will continue moving forward with its opening. According to the Barnes & Noble website, the Wicker Park store will now open in July. This is a delay from its original June scheduling.
Co-op Sauce, which provides the hot sauces in Northwestern dining halls, spices up meals while supporting youth artists in Chicago. Starting in 2003 as a fundraiser for youth arts and entrepreneurship programs, the company supports free opportunities for kids across the city. Founder Michael Bancroft wants to make art more accessible.
It's a unique opportunity to be able to connect with people in ways that is different and fun.
The company makes all of its products out of Sauce and Bread Kitchen in Edgewater. If you want to try the sauce yourself, the restaurant will be open 7 days a week beginning in June, with evening service on Saturdays.
A Rogers Park Café is serving up community for Loyola students and neighbors alike, but its time is coming to an end. NNN's Brandon Condritz spent an evening at Archie's Café to find out what makes it special.
In Rogers Park, good community isn't far from the L. Roberta Schmatz owns Archie's Café. Opened in 2018, it's a place for neighbors to meet, inside or on the patio.
It's a real neighborhood joint, a lot of friends and people that know each other, and then people from out of town just stopping in for an experience.
Archie's has plenty of experiences, like food, drinks, and live music, every day they're open. It's become a nighttime hangout for Loyola students and Rogers Park residents.
It's so incredible because you have a mixture of the Loyola college kids coming, and then you've got the older people in the neighborhood like me.
Archie's opened in 2016. Roberta started it after a neighborhood grocery store, one of the area's only community spaces, closed down the street. Already leasing the building as an art studio, she renovated it, started serving coffee, and when COVID shutdowns hit 2 years later,
I just came in and started cooking.
Archie's flexible food menu and jazz nights were born. But after 6 years of success, changes are coming.
I knew last summer or fall that the building was for sale and assumed Loyola would buy it, and they did.
Loyola bought Archie's building at the end of 2023. The university told tenants they will not be renewing leases when they start expiring this fall, and once they're all up, the building will be slated for demolition.
Of course, it's sad. I've always loved this location specifically. That's why I ever landed here in the first place as well.
Archie's lease expires in August, but Roberta's saying it's not the end.
Trying to reimagine how Archie's can go into the future.
And the community's supporting her every step of the way.
It's unbelievable. Everybody's up in arms, very upset about it.
You wonder where people are going to go to come together like this. What's in Rogers Park where people can come together like this?
Loyola didn't respond to NNN's request for comment, but it told its student newspaper in January there are no current redevelopment plans for the site except demolition. For now, Roberta and her staff are keeping the magic alive on Loyola Avenue.
All I can hope for is that we have a celebration over these next few months, have as many people show support and solidarity for this place as possible.
Finding community while it lasts. In Rogers Park, Brandon Condritz, Northwestern News Network.
You can follow Archie's on Instagram at Archie's Café to find their hours, menu, and music lineup until their closure in August.
Victoria, have you had a chance to go to Archie's before?
I have not, but as a former barista, I would love to check it out before it closes.
That sounds awesome.
Have you been?
I have not, but I'd love to study at cafes and hopefully check it out before it closes.
Yeah, that's all the time we have for today.
From all of us at NNN, thanks for a great year. Stay tuned for the Chicago Show later tonight. I'm Angela Zhang.
And I'm Victoria Ryan. Have a great summer, and we'll see you again in the fall.